Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Mindfulness, week 48. Mindfully review your day. And the quote for the week: it is when you lose sight of yourself that you lose your way. To keep your truth in sight, you must keep yourself in sight. And the world should be a mirror to reflect to you your image. By C. Joy Bell C. We often take time before a new year to review the previous year and what has been accomplished. This yearly review invites self-awareness and recalibration. An annual self-assessment is a valuable exercise when it comes to your major life goals. This yearly review is useful, but the best way to know how you're doing in life is to check in with how present and mindful you are on a daily basis. It's important to watch your progress, see what's working for you and what isn't, and then challenge yourself to build your mindfulness muscle every day. At the end of the day, when the house is quiet and you've finished all your tasks, sit down for a few minutes of self-reflection. How have you done with your mindfulness practices? How were they helpful or challenging? And what interactions or situations were you unconscious and mindless? Were there times when you were reactive, unfocused, or distracted? Did you have periods when your mind was racing, looping, or longing? Write about your observations. In this week's 7-day journal prompt, I review my day to check in on my efforts or lack of efforts with mindfulness. This is what I noticed and where I need to improve. And the Bible verses for this week, in Psalms 139, verses 23 and 24, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way of everlasting. And the reflective questions for this verse: how often do I invite God to help me see myself truthfully? What emotions or thoughts keep surfacing that might need healing? What would the way everlasting look like in my daily habits and relationships? And the spiritual insight for this verse: mindful self-review begins with surrender. It's not about judging ourselves, but seeing ourselves clearly. This psalm reminds us that divine awareness is compassionate, not condemning. When we ask God to search our hearts, we invite light into our shadows, where growth begins. But in Lamentations chapter 3, verse 40, let us test and examine our ways and return to the Lord. And the reflective questions for this verse: what patterns or reactions today pulled me away from peace and purpose? How can I return to the Lord through awareness rather than guilt? What part of my day felt most aligned with God's presence? And the spiritual insight for this verse: daily review is an act of spiritual accountability. It helps us recalibrate when our attention drifts or our hearts grow weary. Each evening becomes an altar, a place to bring the day's actions before God with humility. Reflection is not about perfection, but about returning again and again to center. And in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 26, give careful thought to the paths of your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. And the reflective questions for this verse: did I move through my day with intention or by habit? Where did I let distraction or hurry lead my steps? What does steadfastness look like in my spiritual practice? And the spiritual insight for this verse: wisdom invites mindfulness into motion. Each step we take can either bring us closer to divine alignment or deeper into distraction. By reviewing our daily path, we cultivate awareness that transforms unconscious movement into sacred purpose. In conclusion, a mindful daily review is like polishing a mirror. It clears away the dust of distraction so that we can see our true reflection more clearly. God doesn't ask us to be flawless, but to be aware, awake, and willing to grow. When you take time each evening to reflect, you align your actions with your intentions, your habits with your values, and your thoughts with your spirit. This gentle rhythm of review transforms ordinary days into opportunities for renewal. And the closing affirmation for this week: I end this day with awareness, gratitude, and grace. I see myself clearly and return to peace. Thanks for watching until the end. I'd love to know what you thought about this week's video layout. Drop a line below. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out the description box for the link to my ebook, Finding Your You-Ness, Journey to Self-Mastery. And I'd like to personally invite you to join my weekly prayer and support group by Zoom at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Both the ebook and the weekly group will guide you while providing the encouragement and empowerment that we all need but don't like to ask for. Thanks again for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your presence here is greatly appreciated, and your engagement on this channel helps others to find its content for their own benefit, all part of the collective healing efforts across the globe. Namaste, namasko.